Hello and a very warm welcome along to Sportsbet TV. My name is Paul Alster. I'm really looking forward to the Cheltenham Festival starting on Tuesday, and I hope that you'll be joining me for each of the 4 days as I present free selections here on Sportsbet TV. If you are new to the service, many people, of course, looking around for advice at Cheltenham, do press the subscribe button just below this screen, and then you'll be able to stay in touch with all my free messages throughout the amazing 4 days of the greatest show on turf. I'm planning to offer 2 selections a day, and I'll be focusing on the big handicaps, I think, on each of the 4 days. We'll see. Of course, those of you that know me will be aware that at Out in Front, my subscription service on Patreon, which is available for just £25 a month with no tie-ins, I will be putting up 5 selections a day, at least, each and every day with really blanket coverage. The service has done so well Out in Front, and last season at Cheltenham, I tipped Favour, who won the county hurdle, recommended at 66 to 1. You would have loved to have been on that. And the day before, Seddon went in at 28 to 1. It was a hugely successful meeting. And those of you that have been with me over the years here at Sportsbet since we started out will remember our first Cheltenham very fondly because, of course, I tipped the longest priced handicap winner ever at the festival, 80 to 1, Jeff Kidder in the 2021 Boodles Novices Handicap Hurdle. So there's still time to join me. Sign up and join for Cheltenham 2024 at the link that is in the description box just below this screen. We'll be delighted to have you on board, joining so many people who have already been having a great time. Indeed, on Saturday, I gave 3 recommendations at Out in Front. 2 of the 3 won for a 90 to 1 double. Winners recommended at 12 to 1 and 6 to 1. Right, let me take you to the 2 I've got for you for day 1 at Cheltenham on Tuesday. I'm starting off with a very tough race. The 23 runner Ultima Handicap Chase, due off at 250. A very classy staying handicap chase. Any number of horses are here with a chance. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I'm going to be backing 2 in the race, by the way, one of which I'll be passing on to my followers at Out in Front. The other one, which is actually the bigger priced of the 2, I'm presenting here at Sportsbet. The clear favourite in this race is the Willie Mullins trained Meeting of the Waters, who at the time of this recording, well, he's only just favourite now, 6 to 1. He's drifted from 5. Winner of the Paddy Power Chase at Leopardstown over Christmas off a £17 lower mark, and then got no further than the first at the Dublin Festival last time. But he is well regarded. He could be a graded performer for Willie Mullins, who you have to fear, of course, anywhere, but especially at Cheltenham, and is the only runner for the yard in here. Now, Gordon Elliott is running 4. He's got Minella Crooner, Romwild Fred, Gevray, and the Goffer. The Goffer is the shortest price of them. He's generally 6 to 1 now from 7s. He's £2 lower than when he was a fine 4th in this race 12 months ago behind the subsequent Grand National winner, Corrock Rambler. And he seems to have been saved specifically for this race since finishing down the field over in Ireland in October. Kim Bailey, he's got a strong hand. He's got Chianti Classico and Trelawney. They're both worthy of consideration. Chianti Classico, 2 from 3 over fences. Ran well when he was second to Phlegmatic at Kempton last time out, but I'm just a bit worried the ground might be too soft for him. It won't be too soft, though, for Trelawney, the other Bailey runner. He was only beaten a length and a half at Exeter last time out in 3rd in a 3-mile little race, but the runner-up's already come second in a grade 2, so the form of that looks good. Now, Stumptown for Gavin Cromwell did it nicely at Cheltenham in January when he won with a bit in hand. And despite going up in the weights, I think he should still go well at a track that suits him. He was only just beaten in the Kinmure last season. While Monbeg Genius, that controversial horse, or his owners are controversial, trained by John Joe O'Neill, surely being prepared with the Grand National in mind. He might have needed the run at Kelso 10 days ago after his winter break, but it's a bit concerning that they've already reached for the cheek pieces after that, so they obviously felt he wasn't putting it all in. And then much as I like Vafortino for Venetia Williams, I suspect that he's a better horse going right-handed, so may find this tougher at left-handed Cheltenham. Highland Hunter for Fergal O'Brien in fine form and a good winner at Newbury 10 days ago. He's picked up the £5 penalty. It can't be soft enough for him, but has he recovered from his exertions? And if the breathing uppers worked on Eldorado Allen for Joe Tizard, he could go really well under £5 claim of Freddie Gingell. He's a very bold front runner. But as I've said, I've recommended one horse at shorter odds over it out in front. But here at Sportsbet, I think that Gevray for Gordon Elliott and Sam Ewing is going to go well. Now, this horse actually did a favour for our out in front patrons earlier in the season when he won the Munster National when I recommended him at 10 to 1. And I think he can outrun his odds of 33 to 1 in this race. He's a horse who is talented, and he goes particularly well at this track. He failed to finish in heavy ground in 2 starts since winning the Munster National, but heavy ground is not his bag. Soft conditions are what he likes, and it was soft when he stayed on really well to be 4th to Seddon at last year's Cheltenham Festival over 2 miles, 5 furlongs. He went on to do even better than that, again on soft ground at Fairyhouse last April, 2nd in the Irish National over 3 miles, 5 to Ion Maximus, so he certainly stays. And the thing about this horse is the ground. He's a very particular horse. Good to soft is too quick, heavy is too slow. It has to be soft, and at the moment the ground forecast is just that, soft ground for Gevray. 4th at the festival last year, 2nd in the Irish National. He won the Munster National earlier in the season. I think he'll go well. Gordon Elliott and Sam Ewing, JR's boy, and 33 to 1 is a good price, and that I'm checking offered for 6 places at the time of this recording with Bet365. They're just about the best price and place terms on offer, but of course that can all move. It could get bigger. We'll have to wait and see. And then my second selection coming up on Tuesday. This 450 race is the 2 mile Boodles Juvenile Handicap Hurdle, 22 run in this race. As ever, I don't pick the easy races at Cheltenham. You won't find me putting up State Man or Lossy Mouth and telling you, you know, what a brilliant information I have. This race, of course, as I mentioned, it was a race that was a delight for us a few years ago when Jeff Kidder won it at 80 to 1. LX1 was a very close third for us at Sportsbet at 33 to 1 in 2022. Last year, Mr. Freedom ran a blinder to get the place money at 4-0, 40 to 1, having lost his irons. So I'm hoping this race is kind to us again. It is a real puzzle. I am going to be backing 2 in the race once again, one here at Sportsbet. The other is at Out in Front, both of them are really tasty double-figure prices. I'm just going to focus on a few of them in the race. JP McManus, well, he's got 2 light chances. He's got Milantino, who I'm just going to check for you. He was favourite last time I looked, still favourite at around the 6 to 1 mark, trained in France by Noel George. He's already shown some smart form, finishing 2nd to Burdett Road in the Triumph Hurdle trial at Cheltenham in November. And then he was 2nd to Sergino, who, of course, is the hot pot favourite for the Triumph Hurdle on Friday for Nicky Henderson. Let's hope Nicky's horses come back to form. I think Milantino will go well again, first time in a handicap of just 126. He could have got in light. And JP's other runner is the ex-French listed hurdle winner Nara for Henry de Bromhead. Lots of promise in 2 starts in Ireland and now with a tongue tie on. Liari represents Paul Nicholls. And Liari is unbeaten in 3 starts over timber and was impressive when it won the listed Scottish Triumph Hurdle at Musselburgh last month, where it beat Roaring Legend, Balboa and Unbraden Fisher, 2nd, 3rd and 4th respectively that day. Liari's gone up £7, but he is a nice prospect, and Paul Nicholls is fairly bullish he's going to run well. The other horses in the race behind him, I think Unbraden Fisher is likely to go well. I think he'll appreciate the return to Cheltenham. Balboa is £4 better off with that horse. And then you've got Gordon Elliott's Ndawi, He's a horse that's improving. He won with a lot in hand in a maiden hurdle at Naas in January, where he beat Palamon, third that day and £13 better off. And I think Ndawi, big, strong, strapping horse, you'll spot him easily. He's interesting. And Willie Mullins has got one called Batman Girac, in with a shout, moving across to Handicap company, having run in some very tough graded events since he arrived at Willis from France in the summer. But here at Sportsbet, my choice is a horse called Latin Verse for Sid Hosey and Harry Reid, a horse that was a 1.5 mile flat winner for Rafe Beckett last summer, and then he joined the now disgraced Milton Harris to go hurdling. And he showed ability, went close on his debut at Sedgefield, and then he was third at Kempton. And then Harris had his licence withdrawn, and the horse was moved across to Sid Hosey, who sent him out to win first time out for the yard at Catrick. Won nicely. After that, Milton Harris's former assistant, Anthony Charlton, got the licence, so Latin Verse went back to that yard, and Anthony Charlton sent him out to finish fifth in a listed hurdle at Aintree, and then he ran well to be second to a horse of Paul Nichols's called La Bral du Mathan in a hot little race at Huntingdon, after which this gelded son of Postpone returned to the Hosey yard in Dorset, so he's been going back and forwards like a yo-yo, poor horse. Anyway, it was a lesser event, but on his first start back for the yard, Latin Verse was so impressive for Hosey. He won by 19 lengths on the bridle in soft ground at Ludlow. Of course, that's a different type of track, but the horse looked to be a completely different animal. He looked as though he'd improved a lot, and he loved the soft ground. So he has already been backed earlier on Monday. I'm just trying to keep you up to date with the latest market moves, which are flying around all over the place. The 20 to 1 that I was hoping to offer you has gone. He was 25 earlier in the day, 16 to 1 now across the board for 6 places with many firms. So 16 to 1 each way. Latin Verse will be one of the 2 I'll be backing in the Boodles, the race that's been so kind to me over the years. The other one, if you want to find out about it, along with the other 4 I recommend on Tuesday, available at Out in Front, and you can click the link to join us there in the description box just below this screen. But whatever you're backing, I wish you the very best of luck throughout the 4 days at Cheltenham. I hope you'll be back to me tomorrow, where I'll have selections for Wednesday, and we'll be passing those on to you around tea time on Tuesday afternoon. Have a great Cheltenham Festival. Bye-bye for now.